Hi, welcome to my channel. Before we start, I'm an author. My books are all listed below. I'm going to put a couple of them up here now so you can see the sort of thing that I write. Based around self-concept, but also based around the law of attraction. Mostly the law of attraction, just one self-concept book at the moment. What I want to talk about today is the reasons that your desire hasn't come to you, that you haven't manifested yet. There's generally 3 different reasons, so I'm going to go through them one by one. The first one is this. Is there a significant compromise that you would have to make that you're not particularly happy about? But it's not something you're looking at that's going to stop you from wanting this. You still want it, but you know you'll have to make a compromise. The compromise could be relocating. Maybe it's a job that you really, really want, but you'll have to relocate. Or maybe you're used to working at home and you would have to work from the office. You don't want to do that particularly, but you really want this job. It's a person. You'd have to go and live somewhere else to be with them. Or they want a particular thing from the relationship that you don't particularly want to give. It's a compromise, but you still want them. So you've never really sat down to think about what compromise is going on inside of you, because you haven't realized that that's actually a really powerful, I'm not going to say block, but it's actually a powerful program going on inside of you, which is holding this back. So this is the first thing that it might possibly be. So have a think about it. Is there a compromise? Have you addressed that compromise? Then what you do is this. Yeah, there is a compromise. If there is, in your case, may not be, but yeah, there is. And you bring it to mind. And you think about that compromise and you think, does that thing, that compromise really impact me to a degree where actually the compromise is so important that I really don't want that compromise, that it's overtaking the actual desire? What do I care about most? And then you bring it back and you go, so if you really want that desire still, no, I really want that. So let's say it's a person. No, I really want that person more than I'm worried about the compromise. And then you address it. So you address it to your subconscious and you give it an instruction. You say, yes, I've got this compromise going on, but actually it's not that bad because, and you give it some reasons, give your subconscious, your inner self, reasons that that's not so bad, that you'll be okay with that. And then say, I want this person or I want this thing more than I'm concerned about the compromise. So please disregard those compromises. So you're just instructing your subconscious. You can instruct it anything. That's the first thing. Second thing, do you have a program running inside of you, and maybe it's on autopilot and you aren't aware of it at all, or you are aware of it, that is just running all of the time and it is dominant. See, the thing is, these programs can be dominant, but you may not know about them. So you may not realize until you've sat down and thought about them. So let's say you want a person, but you feel that they're always choosing someone else, or they're always ditching you at the last minute or something like that. Or maybe you've got a friendship where you're always being passed over for somebody else at the last minute. Somebody's cancelling arrangements. Can you go back to a point where something like this happened and really hurt you or upset you? It might be way back, could be in your childhood or anything. Is there something going on there? Can you find it? Do you know what it is? And if you think, oh yeah, I think it's come from that, then you can again instruct your subconscious to disregard it, to dissolve it, to erase it, whatever wording works for you. I know what this program is and I want to erase it because it's impacting what I want. So you go back to that point where you know that it started, and you almost talk to that person that you were then and say, this is not going to impact the rest of your life. I'm not going to turn this into a program. And then you instruct your subconscious to dissolve the program. Secondly, you may not know what that is. You may kind of feel there's something there, but not be sure what it is. And this happens to me often, really, where I think there must be something there, but I'm not sure. I can feel there's something there, but I'm really not sure what label to put on it, what to call it. So then you can say to your subconscious, I know there's something going on in there. You've got something going on in there. There's a program going on that is running on autopilot that is getting in the way of this that I want. Please dissolve it. Whatever the program is, please dissolve it. Set me back to 0. Set me back to factory settings or something like that. Again, because you're addressing it and you're recognizing it, that's when it can be sorted. It may sound so simple and ridiculous, but it is simple and ridiculous because it isn't rational, this stuff. And our subconscious just takes on an instruction. It doesn't have a mind of its own. It cannot say to you, no, I'm not going to do that. It cannot resist it, because that's not what it does. Its job, whatever the subconscious is, we don't know, we can't see it on a scan or anything like that. It is just taking it on board, processing it, dealing with it. So you can dissolve anything, but the first thing you need to do is really be honest with yourself about what's going on in there. Thirdly, energetically. What are you feeling energetically on this subject? What is your dominant energy? Bring this thing to mind that you want, the particular thing that you want that hasn't come into your life. Now see if you can go deep and feel what you feel about it. Are you feeling, I don't have it? Are you feeling this is never going to come? Are you feeling, oh my God, my reality is this and it's shit? What are you feeling on the subject? Because whatever you're feeling on the subject is your energy. So that is your energetic version of reality. So you are going to get what your energy is doing. So see if you can put a label in your head on that energy. So if it is, I don't have this, then think about what that is. It is an energy of I don't have this. So that's what's going out and that's what's coming back. You don't have this. So become aware of your energy on any particular subject at any time. If there's something that hasn't come into your life and you don't feel you're particularly attached to it, you don't feel that you are really, really desperate for it or anything like that. Again, desperation is a whole different thing, but so you can't understand it, then you have to go deep and you have to see what's going on inside of you, because what's going on internally is what's going to be going on externally. So be really honest with yourself, put a label on that energy that you have, that feeling that you feel is there the majority of the time. That's what you've got to look at. So you recognize it, put a label on it, think that's no good for me. Okay, so what energy can I tap into to overcome this? So I could occasionally tap into the energy of opportunity. I could occasionally tap into the energy of feeling free. I could occasionally tap into the energy of magnetism, like magnetizing all of the good things to me. When I do that these days, I have to say, I only want to be a magnet to the things that I desire, because I have had all kinds of crazy stuff happen to me when I've evoked the feeling of magnetism. So you can deal with absolutely anything. Nothing is out of the realms, but you have to be determined to deal with it. You cannot let the same thing go on and expect to get a different result. You cannot get change without changing what you do. So basically changing yourself energetically in whichever way that is, finding if it's reason 1, reason 2 or reason 3. I hope this helps. I'm going to stop now. I don't want to overcomplicate this. I really hope that this was useful and you managed to get something from this and think, oh yeah, I am one of those 3 things, and just see what you can do about it. There's always something, there's always a solution. My motto in life, there's a solution to everything. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm going to leave it there. Oh, just to let you know that Harry and I's podcast has gone live now on his channel that he doesn't really put much up on these days, where he talks about why he doesn't really utilize the law of attraction much anymore in his life, and what the reasons for that are and how he's kind of flown since stopping doing that. So it might be interesting. I talk about change that's going on in my life at the moment, and might be interesting, might not, but pop along and have a look, and I'll leave a link to it down below for you to do that.